In this video, I'm going to show you how to use PowerShell to create a Slack application to do slash commands via Slack. So we're going to be using PowerShell Universal Dashboard as a REST endpoint that we can call from Slack. So the first step that we need to do is we need to set up a Slack application and integrate it with our workspace. I've actually done that here, but I'm going to show you what I did. Up in the top left corner, you'll see I have the Ironman software workspace. You can click Administration and then click Manage Apps. That's going to take you to your Ironman software Slack application page. And then in the top right corner, you can actually click Build. Once you click that, it's going to take you to the Slack API page, and you can click Start Building. When you click Start Building, it's going to ask you for some information about your Slack app and which development workspace you want to integrate it with. I've already done this, so I'm going to click my Universal Dashboard application. And I've actually already integrated it into my workspace. You'll be able to click Install into your workspace, and it will automatically install into your development workspace. Additionally, you can add features and functionality. In this case, we're going to be looking at slash commands. So slash command is anything that you type a / and then start typing a command in terms of like collapse or Giphy, that kind of thing, are slash commands. And the way slash commands work are that they call a REST API. So that's where we're going to integrate Universal Dashboard. So the command is the command that you're going to be typing inside Slack. The request URL is the URL that you'll be typing in to execute after that slash command is run. And then you can provide a short description, that kind of thing. I've actually already created a slash command, which is hello UD, and the description is say hello. So let's look at how we can create a REST API to process this slash command. So I have VS Code open here, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a new Universal Dashboard endpoint. So we'll use endpoint, new UD endpoint. We want to specify a URL of hello world. And Slack is going to send us a post method, so we want to make sure we process post. And then we're going to specify an endpoint. Slack provides a bunch of different parameters to you when it actually executes your slash command. Some of the basic ones include the username, text that's passed in, the channel, that kind of thing. If you look at the Slack documentation, you'll see that there's tons of different things that you can get inside your slash commands. In this case, we just want to process the username and the text that the user provides after the username. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take that username and that text and then echo it back to the channel. So what we need to do then is just return some JSON back out of our REST API to Slack. So in the text parameter here for our hash table, I just want to say hello to the user that is issuing this Slack command, followed by what they typed after the slash command, and echo it back to the entire channel. So by default, this type of response would only go back to an individual user, but if you use in-channel, it's actually going to echo it out to the entire channel so everyone that's in that channel can see it. From there, we want to convert it to JSON. One little trick that we need to do because of the way that Slack requires the content type header to be presented as, we need to specify application JSON for the request content type header. Universal Dashboard is a little more specific in terms of its content type, and Slack wants this exact content type. So we'll do that, and then finally what we need to do is start up our web server. So we're going to use start UD dashboard and provide an endpoint to start up this particular dashboard. From there, we can just get our server up and running. So now we have a REST API running that can work with Slack. So let's test this, this REST API. So now that I have it running locally on my machine, Slack won't be able to actually interact with it because it's a SaaS application and there's no way it can interact with a local web server. So one service that you can actually use to work around this is called ngrok. And ngrok allows you to run a little executable on your local machine, either Windows, Linux, Mac. And it will actually create a tunnel from the internet down to a local web server. So it's really easy to set up, and then what we can do is we can actually just start that tunnel by calling ngrok, HTTP, and then the port that you want to tunnel to. So in this case, I started my Universal Dashboard service on 10,001. I'm going to start this ngrok tunnel on the same port. So when you start that up, what's cool about that is it actually provides a URL that you can then copy and paste and use with other services. So it's auto-generated this URL. I can copy this URL, go to my Slack integration, edit that Slack integration, paste it into the request URL, and then I need to include the path for Universal Dashboard. So I'm going to say hello world, and it's going to call my request URL when I execute that slash command. So we'll save that. And now what we can do is we can actually go into Slack, and if we issue the hello UD command, and we're going to give it some text, so we'll say hello UD. It's going to go up through ngrok down to my local server. It actually executed the PowerShell endpoint inside Universal Dashboard, and it echoed out the text to the entire channel. So you can see my Universal Dashboard app here said, hello Adam, you typed hello UD. So in this video, we went through how to create a Slack app using PowerShell Universal Dashboard to create slash commands inside Slack.